boys and girls. Today we're going to be looking at character analysis. What is character analysis? Well, it's getting to know characters in fiction, okay? And we're going to get to know them better by their thoughts, their actions, their relationships, their feelings, their conflicts with others. And we're also going to pay attention to the changes that they undergo. They might feel one way at the beginning of the story, totally different at the end. So we need to look at both the outside and inside characteristics of characters. So the outside would be the physical traits, what we can actually see, like their hair color, their height, what color eyes they have, what are they wearing. Then we also look at the inside of the character. What are their thoughts? What do they say? What are their actions? What are their feelings? What we learn is based on what the character says, does, thinks, and feels. So here's some words that we use to describe how a character behaves or feels on the inside. Kind, tender, smart, polite, happy, brave, funny, tough, friendly, honest, silly, curious, intelligent, cheerful, bossy, frustrated, angry, guilty, sorry, upset, fearful, stubborn, proud, lazy, mean, selfish, nosy, sneaky, annoying, unkind. This is not all the character traits that are out there. These are just some of them. So we can study characters' relationships to help us determine what that character in the story is like. And we can ask ourselves some of these questions. How do they interact with each other? What do they do to help each other? How do they work against each other? Do they act differently with other characters? Very important, can you find evidence from the text to support character actions? And what do their actions with each other tell you about them? So let's practice. We're going to look at some short passages and then make some character analysis using evidence from our text. So here's our first passage. Ron and Steve are best friends. They have a lot in common. Both boys like baseball and riding their bikes. They both have an older sister. Ron and Steve's favorite food is pizza, and they both dislike broccoli. But Ron and Steve are different too. Ron is quiet, and Steve likes to talk to everyone. Steve enjoys giving reports in front of the class and singing solos. Ron doesn't like to get up in front of the class. He also doesn't talk much when he is in a large group. Even though the boys have some differences, they make great best friends. And to the right, we're going to be thinking about some of these questions. What word would you use to describe Ron? So I want you to think about Ron for a minute and tell me or think about what you think, what kind of person you think he is. And then we're going to look at number 2 as well. Steve is an outgoing person. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? Why or why not? So I'm going to give you just a minute to think about those 2 questions before we go on to the next page and look and see what our thoughts are. Okay, so we're going to start with what word would you use to describe Ron? Well, if you look over to the right, I've jotted down some answers. I think Ron is a shy and timid kid. And what is my evidence? How do I know this? I've got to look at the text to find out clues to help me realize what type of character Ron is. Well, my clues are Ron is quiet and he doesn't like to stand in front of the class. He doesn't talk much. All of these show me that he is a shy and timid person. Number 2, Steve is an outgoing person. Yes, I do believe Steve is an outgoing person. And what's my evidence to support that? Well, Steve talks to everyone and he enjoys talking in front of the class. He is not a shy person. He does not mind getting in front of people and he likes to talk to everybody. So that leads me to believe that he is an outgoing person. So let's practice another one. So let's take a look at this passage. Lily and her sister were walking down the sidewalk. They spotted a billfold on the ground. A billfold is another word for wallet. Lily picked it up and the girls looked inside of it. Lily's sister saw that there was a lot of money inside the billfold. She thought they should give the billfold to the police. Lily thought that since they found it, they should get to keep the billfold. Lily was quiet for a moment. Then she saw a policeman and the sisters walked toward him with the billfold. So if you look over to the right, there's some things I want you to think about. Number 1, what character trait describes Lily's sister? Think about maybe a word or two that describes her. And then number 2, Lily is an honest person. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? And explain your thinking. So I'm going to give you a minute just to think about that before we go to the next page. Okay, so number 1, what character trait describes Lily's sister? And I put down that Lily's sister is an honest person. Well, what was my evidence? What made me draw this conclusion? Well, from the text, she does tell Lily they should give the billfold to the police. That is what an honest person would do. Okay? And then number 2, Lily is an honest person. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? Well, I do think Lily is an honest person, even though at first she wanted to keep the wallet since they found it. What I think happened is she changed her mind and then decided to do the right thing. When you find something, you need to find who it belongs to and not just keep it. That is what honest people do. Okay, now it's your turn to practice. Your teacher is going to have an assignment for you to complete on character analysis.